Okay. We're live. We're here. We finally got together after a whole year of hiatus from me. And just a quick note. Wait, I have to set this up first. Wait. I have to make sure I can see you guys. Slightly important. Okay. Alright. Just a note, like Brent, you weren't here all the way back then, but we're glad you're here joining us today. Hooray. Woo! Woo! And then, let me set this up really fast. Just, there you go. That's perfect right there. Okay. And thank you, all of you, so much for your patience, you guys. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for coming back. We're coming back to Reaching Darkness, and you guys continue to be like some of my favorite people, period. Somebody turned off the camera and now everything's all weird. And we're gonna wait till he comes back and turns on his camera, and he's going to turn on his camera in about 30 seconds here, and then everything's back to normal again, I think. And fuck you, Cole. And but we're fucking back, guys.
We're back.
The original campaign. I'm super excited. Be gentle. Oh god.
No.
No. Okay.
This is not the gentle campaign.
True. Kind of. Not anymore.
Or the gentle moment in this campaign.
But without further ado, this is gonna be a long one. Brent, especially, buckle in, just sit back, enjoy the show, maybe talk and chat if you like. But hopefully we get through it, because things were tense. But we're gonna go through a short recap here, and we are going to. Oh god, we're going to start up kind of in the thick of it, but we'll see how the story goes. But to refresh you guys, we have a small cap. Is there anything else? Anybody? Nobody. Everybody's ready. Nobody has anything to say. Okay.
Kill armor.
Okay.
Oh no.
I don't think you need to do that. It's happening gradually.
I steal everybody's everything.
All right, you guys are all warmed up. I'd love to see it. All right.
I'd just like to say that there's some instigator in the chat called Who Blew the Doctor who's getting really aggressive. I think you probably
Ban 'em.
need to ban them.
Ban him.
Yep.
Ban him.
Both mod
That's all.
privileges.
Yeah.
All right, we need to make you a mod. We need to make you a mod, and then we're gonna ban you. Ban it.
Still not a mod.
Anyways. Okay. Let's start over. Start over the song. There you go.
Chaos.
Chaos. All right. And so, once again, we return to the campaign for Reaching Darkness. This months-long journey stretched out over almost like half a decade, telling the tale of our 5, soon-to-be 6, heroes of Octavia, and the continent of Celestis, who thwarted the evil machinations of Kergala's evil and saved the entire continent from being enveloped in an age of darkness. Each one of them, from different backgrounds and creeds, came together as fellows and risked life and limb to protect their homes and the greater good against evil, thus earning them their title, the Sentinels of Light. This party, composing of Rogar Myaston, accompanied by his faithful follower Drexit and his tamed wyvern Aldraoni, this valiant silver dragonborn knight hails from the frigid lands of Talander. He is a force to be reckoned with, the wrath of his strikes and presence on the battlefield only matched by his love of celebration and loyalty to his fellows. He has proven time and time again that might wins fights, And soon, he will prove that he will also find his master's killer and bring him to justice. Bruno Kane, an Octavian bowyer from Morbinder. Bruno had humble beginnings, but soon found that the call to adventure would make him a nigh peerless archer and marksman. He would also become a befriender of frog humans, romancer of former vampires, and a hometown hero. With a proud hometown family, who wishes him a safe return home. Next, Evelyn Hornraven, a young Octavian girl from the city capital. This seemingly innocent child hides the skill of a master thief and those of a seasoned killer to match. Almost able to appear and disappear at a moment's notice, this mischievous youngling, and potential royal-to-be, has yet to reach her full potential. Ormar Rittdigger, the Era Cochrane necromancer, has an origin as clouded and mysterious as his words and methods alike. But let it not fool you. This former gravedigger commands the forces of magic and undeath that has rivaled some of the greatest in history. But will the secrets he holds become his undoing? I realize now I have to get...
Epic, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't see Oromar on the stream.
Yeah, I was about to do that.
Okay.
We have 6 people. Damn it. Okay, wait. I can fix this. But we'll go along with the rest of this and then I'll fix that. Yeah, it should be okay. And finally,
I get trumped by the guy who's not here yet.
true. We could just replace you, Brent. That makes sense. Say goodbye, Brent.
Well, it's been fun. Had a great time. Thank you, everyone. Tune in next time, I guess.
Wait. There, watch me fix it. That was smooth. That was so smooth.
I'm watching.
Watch it. Yeah! Got it!
I like it.
There he is. Our necromancer, Ormar. Alright. And, finally, Yurith. Rain. Did y'all know it was pronounced Rain? Because I thought it was Ryan. Anyways.
I didn't even know if that was his last name.
Well, you know now. This lone Faerunian of the party and Deathly Herald, his witty and sometimes carefree demeanor distract from his steadfast righteousness and conviction to purge all evils from the world. A conviction so strong that he drew the attention of the Raven Queen, and has been taken under her wing ever since. Witnessing the cruelty of fate from a young age, Yurith swore vengeance upon those who took his home from him, and at long last, his campaign commences. Made it on time. Anyways. And answering Yurith's call to the Chultan Peninsula, Rogar, Evelyn, and Ormar sat out Bruno in his hometown of Morbinder. And after meeting the family and saying farewell to the familiarity of the Octavian Empire after having a nice dinner, finding out what Bruno's like in his home life, etc., etc., with the aid of Heron Trant, the Archmagister of the Octavian Empire, they made their way to Talander, where after a short but arduous meeting, Rogar, in light of his contributions of valuable intel and feat of taming a wild wyvern, had become an official Wyvern Knight, and Legend of the Hall, him being the youngest. They had then used the teleport spell to travel to Faerun. Upon the Chultan Peninsula, meeting Yurith once more. They did their greetings, much merry was had, And the party had noticed that their once plate-armored and robust friend had thinned. Doffing plate for leather and sporting a jungle green headband, ready for action, Urith had undergone a transformation. But the Sentinels had now become whole. Except for tomorrow. Anyways, they got together, went to a nearby inn, made merry, caught each other up with what was going on. And Urith had started to explain the dangers that would lie ahead. The city being threatened by an undead horde of zombies and beasts alike. The death fog that kills and turns creatures into the undead by being within it for only mere seconds. And the death curse that given time would spread to the entire world. A curse that not only prevents one from coming back from the dead, but also saps away at those who have died previously, and additionally affects those who are near death, taking hope away from those at the brink. But it wasn't long into their catch-up that Rogar had informed the rest of the party that Oromar had been taking some concerning actions of late. He had taken a corrupt dragonborn and took its living heart and sacrificed to some strange book, some strange tome, and that he had explained himself that he had chores to seemingly appease the robe of immense power that he wore. After much deliberation and grilling the avian sentinel, the party finally found the book. Leaving the robe of the Archmagi at the Temple of Savras with Father Zatimbe, who had helped you discover the book's true form, or true nature, so to speak, they went to the Temple of Soon with it, meeting the beautiful Madame Elena and having her appraise the evil item. Then she discovered its true form and immediately went into action, demanding that Ormar be put under surveillance, kept under lock and key until she could be certain that he was no threat to the Hiver and to the people within. Cornered, Ormar tried to reveal the information, but was cut short. Something about a ritual, but then his form immediately began to visibly wither and molt. Yep, wrong song. No one says that. Alright. His form immediately beginning to visibly wither and molt, and only enforcing her conviction that he was a threat, and along with the book, and wanting to have him detained. Going back and forth, the Sentinels did not want to allow this to happen. They had nearly come to the point of open conflict when an outbreak of undead in the old city allowed for both parties to put aside their differences, at least for the time being, and come together in defense of the people. Leaping into action, the Sentinels teleported, flew, and ran, sprinted, climbed buildings across the entire port, and valiantly fought against the undead, saving as many people as they could along the way. Leaving Drexit, Rogar's squire, to protect the book in the temple along with her followers. Once the fighting was over, and the walls of the port proper secure, the party and Elena came to a sort of reconciliation, and cooperated in helping save the people of the city. They also joined hands in the interrogation of one suspicious albino dwarf, learning that the source of the outbreak had been from potentially the Undercity. But knowing that there were more trapped people within the old city, Rogar and Ormar stayed behind, and the party split up. The rest of them, Evelyn, Urith, and Bruno, the newly dubbed Team Sneak, went off to the Awful Pits. Both now being successful, saving the people and finding the old city maze under the ground, had now reconvened once more and they had met the guardian of the maze, the Flame Skull Guardian, Crackle. And after losing a few games of Dragon Chess and the selfless undertaking of the punishment by Urith, the precocious, blinged-out floating head assisted them through the entirety of the maze to his Yuan-Ti tormentor at the maze's center. After some quick spying from Urith and learning that the ghouls were to travel 3 days south following the river, the Sentinels quietly approached the Yuan-Ti spellcaster. Busting open the door, Bruno, like a well-oiled killing machine, loosed 6 arrows, needing only half to fell the Yuan-Ti, and using the rest to whittle down the rest of the enemies in the room, including one Shadowghast. Leaving now only the fleshy mass in the center, after cutting down the captives and saving them, bringing some of them to consciousness. You just had this fleshy thing in the middle of the room, pulsating with dark energy. Ormar attempted to discern its nature and made an ill-fated attempt to convince the others that it was worth preserving and that they had... but the rest decided that they had to be rid of it as fast as possible, and with the mighty blows of Rogar and one steady shot from Bruno, the mass was destroyed. But in doing so, the tendrils started to quake, and the released energy from within had begun to collapse the maze entirely. Immediately, rushing for the exit, everybody with your cunning use of your skills, magic, and your sheer force of will, you made a mad dash to the exit. Rogar almost getting caught in the rubble entirely, but his large frame and massive strength helped him and the elderly unconscious woman that he was carrying with him out without too much injury. Running towards the exit of the maze, you met Crackle again, and he, realizing the inevitable collapse of the maze, helped the Sentinels out, and after again some deliberation on whether or not he was actually evil, you could make your decision and you set him free of his eternity ahead of him. With one swift strike, you shattered him to pieces, ending his existence. Now... Oh, and he also shouted to Uptao as he, in his final moments, hoping the god of the island, of the peninsula, would have mercy on him. Making your way now back to the city proper, the Sentinels were met with a gold half-dragon sorcerer and harbor master Zindar, who applauded you in your service, and after showing his knowledge of Rogar and his origins, escorted all of you to a private bathhouse. Within, you could now finally relax. And after the first stressful day in Chult, you were able to wash away much stress and fatigue, at least as much as you could, and eventually made your way towards the humble abode of Mama Nani, who promptly assails Urith with a slipper, telling him that he was late and didn't tell her where he was going for the day, and after that, dotes on all of you and adopts you all as her children. You have a wonderful dinner, dessert, etc. You have some tight space to sleep in, but it's comfortable and private. And you wake the next morning. Evie and Aldrani sleeping outside. Rogar and Urith, before you guys have to meet Madame Elena, you train Evelyn harshly. And after repeated attempts and some bruises and scratches here and there, she finally gets it, and eventually acquires the ability to see, without seeing, to sense her surroundings with her eyes closed. And in addition, she's given the 2 Mind Flare whips that you had acquired from Kurgala. Making sure they weren't evil, she found that they had the ability to impair its victims' minds, and subsequently giving her a small insight into their senses. But now, with noon approaching, Oromar's condition is worsening. Loss of health and his sense of smell. The tips of some fingers and toes, as well as some whole ones. Pieces of his beak chipping off, eyes sunken in, and all his feathers starting to molt and wither. You hurry and bring Oromar to the ritual pool Madame Elena had created. But upon approaching it, Oromar had seemed to taint it black, rendering lots of the holy water that she had filled the pool with inert. But keeping him at its safe distance and bringing all your weapons at the ready, you watched as Madame Elena performed her legend lore. And through the divine goddess Soon, she divined that the grimoire of the Obsidian Skull would give its wielder immense power, knowledge, secrets, feasibly anything that one would desire, but at an inevitable cost. The owner's body and soul. And she had discerned that the only way to prevent this book from harming anyone in the future is to bring it to its first soul's creator, and have the creator of that soul speak its true name. And now, with this new information, our party leaves the book in Elena's care. And they go to seek more information on the subject. Talking with the half-dragon Sindar, they believe that the merchant princes might have a lead to the things that they seek. A way to the mountain of the gods, Mount Celestia. We pick up with you all now. Right.
Good job.
Yeah. No, sorry.
Thanks.
I gotta go. I'm sorry, guys.
TV up now.
All right. And now, we pick up with you guys, leaving the Temple of Soon, walking along the causeway that leads from the port cliffs to the small island that supports the beautiful temple behind you. The sun is high in the sky, and the punishing heat and humidity is slightly abated by the ocean breeze and sea spray that periodically meet your senses. Oromar, you had just kind of tripped over and you think you might have lost a little bit of toe. Rogar and Evelyn kind of helping you up and making sure you don't stumble over. You can still walk more or less fine, but it's a little awkward. Nope.
I grab his toe.
Does anybody feel like that last 5 minutes took like a year?
Shut up.
I think Rogar's head is broken or something.
I don't know. I know. I get what you mean. It kind of feels like 11 months.
I mean, you're always groggy, Oromar.
Yeah, you're not in
Your
very good shape. I
fault.
don't.
It's not good.
We can't trust anything about you right now.
Fine. Rude.
Well,
Can you guys help me jog my memory?
Probably not.
For the last 5 minutes.
We need to go find the first owner of that book, right? And we need to have him speak its true name.
don't we assume that the first owner of that book's soul is in the book?
Epic, can I make a history? During your recap, you said we need to bring
The soul's creator, the first soul's creator. Let me read it. It is, yeah. You need to find the true name of the first soul of the book and have its creator speak its true name.
their own true name, or the book's name. We don't know.
So make it just, your intelligence is high enough, like it's like 16 or 18.
16.
16. Just roll intelligence. And anybody who's curious, you can roll intelligence.
Can I make a history check? See if I remember there's a table of contents.
Oh, no.
Glossary.
Oh, yeah, you can. You can. You can.
Not gonna bother.
Okay, Urith, you kind of discern, like, this. It is worded vaguely, and being used to the bullshittery and vagary that has plagued you for the last couple of weeks, you seem to, there is a soul inside the book, or like the book's first soul. The book has a first soul, and that soul has a creator on Mount Celestia, and you have to have that creator speak the name of the soul.
The soul. Oh.
Yeah.
Never
Been waiting a long time.
I remember now. Never mind.
How in fuck's name are we getting to Mount Celestia anyways?
Well, that's what we're doing now. We're going to go talk to a merchant princy guy, and maybe he'll know a caster. This just happened like 5 minutes ago. You don't remember?
No.
Are they even alive at this point?
Is he
I
drunk?
drove them last night.
Ah.
It's an old book.
Ormar, nobody's listening to you right now.
I know.
You did a bad thing, you know that, right, Bird?
No.
Yes.
Oh. I hand over the book. I can see it for the name.
Did you make a roll, Ormar? Oh, was it
Yeah, I did
22?
22.
There's no table of Are you talking about the book?
I'm looking for names of souls in the book, yes.
So there was no table of contents. Yeah, everybody can know this, I suppose. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
There was no table of contents. As you went through the book and as you had something in mind, it seemed to just have the information. Like there, and every time you went through the book, it was never in this like the same place, etc., etc. It was very amorphous.
Right.
So yeah.
Constantly changing. Well, if you pass the book over, I can take a look.
You mean
Ormar.
the book that's back
Ormar.
in the church? We don't have it. We don't have it.
I'm pretty sure that if you continue down the path of this book shit, that Ormar, that Yurith is going to cut your head off.
True!
I'm fairly confident about that.
But, I mean, if we're going to give him a little bit of room, he's either going to die of... oh, here you are. Hand you your toe back. That.
Great.
Or from a fiery sword. One or the other.
So we have to go and find somebody who's going to get us to Mount Celestia and then come back to get the book so that we can then teleport with the book, because we have to have the book with us.
True.
No.
Alright, well let's go.
How far off would it be if we found a map at the location of Mount Celestia?
It's on a different plane, Bird.
Hmm.
It's not on this plane of existence.
Hmm.
We have
What
to
if we
find somebody.
did find the map?
Yeah.
That would be a pretty fancy map.
But if we did,
We did, yeah. So
I don't know what I
would.
would do with it.
Yeah,
Yurith, please lead us. Yurith,
Yeah, let's
please-
go. We're
please
going.
lead us.
We're going. Yes.
And as you guys start to walk along the causeway again, very elevated, like the ocean is like maybe 20, like 30 feet under you. But there are still waves that lap up against the top of at the side of the causeway, and you know, there's sea breeze that hits your senses. You hear... Did you leave Drexit too, or is he with you?
I imagine that we're coming back to the church anyway, so I'd probably leave him at the church.
You leave him there? Okay, good to know.
Yeah, because we're coming back anyways once we have a way to get to Mount Celestia, so.
Okay. And... So, as you guys start to walk, those perceptive of you, remind me of your passive perceptions now, please. I know 9,
Very high.
14.
and 14, and then
23.
23
22.
and 22. Yeah, there it is. There it is on that side. Lord.
22.
You guys hear the brushing of footsteps behind you as you see Madame Elena. Again, very beautiful in her form.
Oh.
Some kind of, you know, almost stereotypically like scantily clad. But
Yurith, you
again,
should probably not ask if she
long up type ponytail, high ponytail. and her long brown hair, which turned red, you remember, as she cast her spells. He's like, and there's one thing that I was able to discern from Soon's divination.
So, all ears.
The name of the book.
Oh.
It is called the Grimoire of the Obsidian Skull. I don't know how that will help you, but she did tell me its name.
Grimoire of the Obsidian Skull. Well, thank you very much. I don't know how it's going to help us either, but it might be useful for whatever mage we meet.
Yes, and it's good that you're at least able to speak of it without that happening again, as she looks towards you, Oromar, as you say the words you said before.
Well, I didn't say the name itself, so.
Can you say it now, though?
Yeah,
No.
why don't you say it for us
Let's
first?
not
No.
risk it.
Kurgala.
That's true. Gurgla, okay. Good.
Madam Eleanor, just
Oh, no.
just so we're clear, we're going to go find a caster to teleport us to a different plane of existence, and we're hoping that you're going to give us the book once we're able to do that, so we can...
If I have
Red-
assurance that this is your destination and I can take a look at the divination folk myself, yes. I
No,
think...
that's fine, and you may send somebody with us if you'd like, or you could even come with us. You're not too shabby to look at, so I wouldn't mind it.
Oromar.
Make a charisma check.
Wait, Spirit.
Just straight charisma.
Persuasion.
Make
Dang it.
straight charisma.
How about that persuasion, because my charisma's -1 though? How about persuasion? Oh god! We're fine!
No!
Alright, so... that was a joke, I was joking!
Like she looks at you and then you start to do that.
Well, let's go! See you later, Madam Eleanor.
I remember,
We'll
I remember
speak
a
of
time
it
that- I
when
remember
you
a
return.
time that Eurus was really good at talking to people.
Yeah, I thought he was like, you know, he could like get anybody in bed pretty
Yeah.
much. Type
I
thing.
remember
Check
that
your-
time.
Right.
Eurus?
Stop it!
Good luck
What? Thank you.
and post haste.
Alright.
However,
Eurus' face just goes bright red, and he turns around.
keep in mind, we need you here as well, Sentinels.
Right,
We'll
hopefully this
finish
will only take
up
a
as
short
quickly as we can.
time.
And then she just turns around.
I take a
She
look.
walks in, and you look. Make a wisdom saving throw. No, it's okay.
That's
it's okay.
What?
It's okay.
Stop.
So,
What?
You're being disrespectful. Stop it.
No.
so being pampered by your adopted mummy has made you such a ladies' man now.
I want to punch you so much right now, but I'm afraid your arm will fall off if I do, so I
I
won't.
think that,
Probably.
that
Feather
if
falls
Oromar
off.
keeps... Well, not things that we don't like, but if Oromar keeps saying evil things, I think we should have like a thing
How's
where
that
if he says
evil?
like if he says like 5 evil things in a day, we like hit him.
How's that evil?
True.
And if you say too many evil things within that day and we've hit you too many times, we just pull your beak off. Because I think that we could do that at this point.
Or you just
It's
owe
already
us
out.
like 20 gold each.
You know how weird I'll look if my beak comes off?
Yeah, but you won't be able to talk.
I mean, you
Have
look
you
weird
seen a bird with no beak?
It's probably terrifying,
It
once.
would be really weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
but I'm still curious enough to want to try and do it. So you better stop talking about this, or else I'll just do it anyways.
All right.
All right.
Let's see Imagine Prince, shall we? No tripping anymore, Oromar. Right.
Do you
Try.
want the piggyback ride?
Yes.
All right. I pick up Oromar.
Yeah.
Is he stinky? He looks stinky.
Do you
He
not
does
have?
smell really bad. He smells.
Eldrani
He smells
with
My
like
bath, my last bath didn't go well.
I'm not letting him touch Eldrani. That's no.
Okay.
No.
I got it.
Do you know how bad he smells right now? It's really bad.
No.
I mean, I didn't want to say anything.
As
I
as
know.
Okay.
you see
Oromar, why are your
Aldrani,
feathers sticky?
I don't know.
Aldrani
Probably
as
from the last bath.
he was like standing, next to Rogar, like as he picks up Ormar, just like goes backwards, like 10 feet, and gets some distance. All right.
Where's the book anyway? Can't remember where we put it.
The
Temple?
Back
priestess
at the
has
church.
it.
Priestess? Yeah.
Don't we need it with us?
No, we're going to come back and get it when we tell us. When we leave.
No, I'm not listening.
His ears
Oromar,
are
I'm
falling
going to
out
pull your
too.
beak off.
Why?
Let's go, Merchant Prince.
Forward birch.
Maybe
Where
his
are we
brain's
going?
falling apart just as much as his
Hmm.
body.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
You're leading the way. You know this city the best.
All right, follow me.
Okay, and as you go, give me a second. I messed something up.
Oh my god.
Okay. He
Why?
literally like that. As you walk along, you know, you're like, why the fuck is he walking like that? And then you see like a tabaxi just running like this too, just like.
No, we're all
Heavy's
You're all
just
just
like,
like-
what the heck?
Yeah, I just look at Evie and go, what is wrong with everyone?
I don't
Alright.
know what is happening.
And as you make your way to the port proper once more, you get to and you start walking around. I believe it was the market ward, and we can bring that up on the map even. For now, for you guys. The stream won't see it just yet, but actually, sec. My tabs are everywhere. Oh lord. Where is it? There it is. Okay. You guys can reintroduce yourselves to Port Yanzar.
My name's Bruno.
Hello, city. My name is Rogar Maestan.
So you make your way back into the merchant ward, and you're immediately hit with the scent of very fine and fragrant incenses. You remember if it's there to ward off insects and, you know, just provide a kind of lightening atmosphere to this part of the city, making it just not only in sight and sounds, but also in smells. It is much more regal and nice, you know, nicer, quote unquote, than the other wards. But it doesn't take long as you're walking towards Wakanga's mansion, right? That's where you're going?
We're going to a merchant prince.
Which merchant
Named
prince? I think
Wakanga.
named Wakanga, yeah.
Oh, Wakanga. I said
Sure.
Wakanda.
Yep.
No,
That's
it
what we're
was
going.
because I remember Ormar said he made
Wakanda,
a
yeah.
Black Panther. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
yeah.
On the way
I
there,
think it's just
it doesn't take long until it hits your senses once more. The kind of, what do you call it, ointment, like the thick ointment that you guys have all placed upon your bodies to repel the insects as well, start to kind of like drip and droop, and you can feel yourself sweating under it as the humidity and the heat
Ormar, why
becomes
is your ointment black?
almost bad to bear.
I don't know.
Why
What?
is everything about you just wrong right now?
you want. Oh, I just realized. You want me to glue your talon back on?
Let's do it.
Oh no.
We have the special glue, don't we?
Let's save it for the beak.
That's a good point.
For the beak.
Let's
Yeah,
glue
for
his,
the
let's
beak.
glue his talon back. Well, that's true. I love the idea of gluing Ormar back together.
I have
Literally.
four uses.
So, do you actually do that, or?
No, or
No.
So, continuing on, you see the medium and large dinosaurs that go by you. They're being used as beasts of burden. They're hauling carts, maybe just having riders or full-on carriages every once in a while.
That's never
Um,
gonna get old. That is crazy.
Yeah, some of them, you know, doubling
Giant-
or tripling the sizes of horses and beasts of burden back where you're from.
Giant lizards are never going to get old.
Not that look like that, and that like Aldriani's I don't know. It's different. It's different.
It's a good point, because with Aldriani there, usually Aldriani is the one that stands out amongst the crowds, but like with the current setting that you guys find yourselves in, it is very he is very flush with the rest of the environment.
We need to get Eldriani a hat or something to stand out.
Not fine. What? No.
Mhm.
What?
And
No,
as
no.
you're used
I
to
wanna give it a gift. It's fine.
many types of architectures being used in various cities. Within Port Nyanzar, it's pretty uniform. While the method of construction varies from building to building, even even if they're adjacent to each other. The styles don't really vary except here in the Market Ward. But as you were used to in like maybe a place like Octavia, the foliage and the greenery would be very, very trimmed, neat, proper. The richer an area you go. Here, they're very used to just letting flowers, green plants, vines grow everywhere. They seem to be springing out of buildings and stones themselves, and the profusion of greenery is, while allowed, needs constant maintenance. As you can see, there are like many gardeners and attendants that seem to be taking care of each building. Around, you see any defensive walls or towers are topped with colorful awnings and shields to guard from the sun and rain, and you see more than any other city you've been to up till now. The walls, buildings, everything are just splashes of color. The people are in very many multicolored garbs, robes, etc. The guards, when allowed, are wearing their own personal effects to the same tune. And all the streets, no matter where you go, except for maybe Millar's Throat, are all paved with cobblestones or flagstones. Deep rain gutters go through every street, and they can be anywhere from a foot to 2 or 3 feet wide. Which is a good point, but it hasn't rained today, but Yurthu would know. When it rains, it sometimes just pours. And you can see the streets just just funneling water to either side or to any various vein. There are rain catchers on the roofs of many buildings, etc., etc. As you can, especially now, since Yurith would know, like, the rivers, etc., etc., are filled with like many more animals, and like even undead influence comes from upstream. Many people use rainwater as their source of hydration. You guys, fortunately, don't have to worry about water that much because you have the horn of water, or whatever it's called, and you have the alchemy jug. So, but eventually, you do make your way towards Wakonka's mansion. Just a little bit southwest of the Temple of Severus, which you had left earlier, the day prior, that had housed Father Stimbe. Walking up to it again, it is a very lavish estate. Purple and blue roofs, like almost mimic this kind of like what do you call it? Like gem-like appearance. It's almost kind of akin to Rogar's shield, and it's reflecting of sunlight and changing of colors. And you see there are many draperies, etc. Marking out like symbols of magic and the arcane, almost like making a show that he is the merchant prince of the arcane. And let me just bring up my notes here for a second. As you are right at the front of the place, and some guards have gone to get Sandra and Wakonga. I need my bookmarks. Ah, yes, okay. So before you see the kind of long pillars that go up the like 40-50 feet up to the very roof, are at the front of the estate, going in towards a very open air kind of concept lobby. You can see very straight through. You can see Sandra and Wakonga just like walking together down some stairs, and they see you. And they start to wave, coming towards The guards open the gates, allow you in, and you can see behind them, they sit at a table that's at the middle of the lobby, and then behind them is like a just tiny fountain that continues to spurt water. Friends, welcome back. So, after yesterday's expedition, I hear you have done good things.
We have, yes. We have a couple of reasons. We've been told to meet with the merchant princes, as they would all like to have words with us, and also we have a specific favor to ask.
Yes.
Actually.
They have all heard of you and they all want a piece of you, but I found you first, okay? You know that Wakonga was nice to you first. He helped you get to the trouble, so I deserve some of the credit.
Sure.
And you can see this man, very lavish. I think it was, well, he probably changed his dress every day. Like, today, very red and gold robes. On his pauldrons, like, you know, this leopard prints that have fur extruding from them. That are leopard print pauldrons that exude fur on the sides. A kind of, like, slightly too tall hat on top of him.
Very kind of flamboyant or lavish. Or...
And
right, well,
but they want to have dinner with you at the very end, once you have taken rid of the death curse. But I'm sure many would like to talk to you beforehand. What do you need? As you see, Sandra's already sitting at a chair, and Arya just kind of like waiting, just like drinking some tea.
Saving our city is at the utmost, the top of our priority list. But to do so, we are certain that we need everybody in our party intact. We work as a unit, and if one part of our machine is malfunctioning, the entirety of it does not move as it once did. And I just kind of eye over to Ormar. Unfortunately, one part of our machine is currently malfunctioning. And we seek to remedy that. So, what we'd like to ask you, as you are the Merchant Prince of Arcane...
Come, sit there. Chairs,
sorry.
chairs.
Right,
As you just,
get comfy.
you see servants go rush over, get chairs that are on the standby, and then you all have a place to sit.
Is there like food or drink in front of us, or?
Yeah, there's food, drink, there's fresh tea prepared, other beverages if you so desire, and you know there you see their servants standing on the sides, fresh fruit, etc., etc.
Thank you for the food, appreciated.
Yes, eat. Remember levity when you can.
So, how do we start this? He accidentally picked up an evil book, alright? And, it's not been good to us, you see. It seems to have imparted a curse upon us. And we are currently
all of you
working. No, just my good friend here. As you can see by his physical appearance, he doesn't have much time left.
As you see, as Sandra kind of lean over and just take a good look at him. You kind of see her kind of like push up her glasses a little bit more, and as you guys take a good look at her, especially Bruno and Evelyn, and Yurith, you just know her. You notice that, like, again, even you just saw her yesterday, she was a wrinkly old lady to begin with, especially, like, when you met her. But, like, it's, you see, like, the folds have gone deeper. You see that parts of her face, like, she doesn't even trying to hide it with a mask anymore, like, parts of her face are just starting to chip off. And you see, like, bits of exposed flesh, the death curse affecting those who have died previously. Sandra is withering away. Not too dissimilarly, to your avian friend. It is... You haven't specifically seen bits of flesh come off of Ormar yet, but it gives you the same vibes.